That is a tasty, tasty beverage. Welcome back to Sippin With Sin, #1 podcast of stuff and things and stuff pertaining to nerdy stuff, entertainment stuff, music stuff, gaming stuff, comic stuff, whatever we want it to be stuff, because we are the #1 podcast of such things, and we can do what we want, like it, enjoy it, except in your heart of heart, soul of soul, is proven by people far, far smarter than all of us. So it is what it is. Welcome back for another week, another episode. I'm bad at math, and I'm going to say this is episode 106, and I think that is right, and I hope it's right. If not, then, it's somewhere around that area. We are over 100, and that just means we're old at this point, I guess. 100 episodes means we're old, and I'm old. So, yeah. So without further ado, let's welcome back David Gordon Green's #1 all-time fan, the one and only Mr. Christian.
Hey, guys. Woo! It feels good to be back for another episode.
David Gordon Green Fan Club.
God.
Yeah.
But anyway, it feels good to be back for another episode. 106. That's a lot. We've been doing this 106 times. Probably done it more than 106 times.
Dude, I feel like a definite old person now saying, what year did we start?
I think it was 2021 when we actually started.
When did we start talking about doing this? 2020?
Yeah, 2020. Sure. You know what? We probably started talking about it in 2019. Then talked about it more 2020, and then 2021.
Full disclosure, it took us a couple years to actually get stuff planned out and figured out, and we're like, all right, let's just do it.
Yeah. Like, I wish that I dated some of this stuff, because I definitely, I'll tell you this, whenever The Batman actually came out is about the time we started doing this.
Well, when was that? That was
2022?
I don't know. No, we've been doing it a long. Well, it might be. I don't know. Dude,
because
math is not my strong suit. I still have my very first note for the first episode, which is right here, just this little tiny paragraph, and the second episode is this paragraph here. So, yeah, first episode, I think. Where's the Cliff Note version of the notes?
I don't know, dude. I guess I used to just give myself a prompt, and then I would just talk about it. Now I just write it all down because I'm getting older and I forget stuff. So I have hella notes.
And now he writes War and Peace every episode. You're welcome.
Hey man, look, it's for you guys and for me. I don't like to get on here and just say stuff and look like an idiot. So I make sure I write it down so my thoughts are as concise as they can be. And here we are. Because if I now, I used to be able to just watch something and then tell you about it without looking at any notes. But now if I do it, I guess I'm just old. I'll forget half of the stuff, and then the thing I wanted to talk about I'll never bring up. So just write notes down so I can, stay organized, if you will.
So our lovely chat featuring the one and only Mr. Leader of Cola said, why don't you guys use Apple Notes so both of you have updated notes? Well, because Christian doesn't use Apple products because he doesn't like fruit.
Yeah, I have. So full disclosure, I have an Apple computer, which I'm using currently. And then I have.
Don't we do stuff like that?
We totally can. I can do it on my computer, no problem. But on my phone, I don't have. Actually, so at the time of this recording,
again, Christian does not care about the audience. He's like, nope, I'm gonna keep this notepad all to myself. He just doesn't want my awesome notes in there.
So, the phone that I currently have, it's an Android. It's Samsung Galaxy, whatever. This phone is on its last legs, unfortunately. I love this phone. I've had it for a while, and it's just time to retire it. So at the time of this recording, I have officially bought a new phone. I have the phone in hand yet. It's being shipped. I did get something else that's not an iPhone, and I'll show you guys that. The next episode that we record, I'll be able to show it to you for those of you watching.
And by the time this episode comes out, I will be another year older and officially in my geriatric home, in my chair, watching my programs, eating my tapioca pudding, and I'm hoping someone will freeze it and make it a tapioca pudding pop. I know,
there you
right?
go.
I'm about to be the fanciest old man ever. Want some popsicles?
Want some popsicles?
Oh, dude, it'd be so bad. I would cause a ruckus in an elderly home. I would just
feel that.
Start a mosh pit, throw in walkers, all kinds of stuff. That's pretty much what I would do. That's how it go. All right, what we like to do is start every episode what we've been watching, reading, listening to, or playing. So we're gonna do that because then we got some news to go into, and then we got stuff and things to talk about. So, I guess I can. Do you want to start? Well, I don't know. Who's starting?
I mean, just with news, I can start
I
this
thought
time if you
we're
like.
not doing news yet. Slow your roll.
All right.
Quit
All right.
trying to change the segment like we haven't done this 100 episodes.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, we've been. Mine's pretty quick, so I'll go
Okay,
first.
we'll do it.
Get it. So we always start off with what we've been watching, reading, listening to. As far as listening to, I've been listening to stuff, but nothing like noteworthy. I've just been listening to some little stuff here and there. Tesseract again, just stuff to keep me occupied when I'm doing things like artwork or some work from home stuff. So nothing on that front. And as far as reading goes, I have a couple of books on order, but I haven't started any of those yet. So once they get here, I'll show you guys and let you know what I'm getting for that. Watching, aside from the stuff that we're already going to talk about, I have continued my journey of House. And in my free time, I do like to watch that show. I do still really like it. I am 4 or 5 seasons into that show right now. A character that I really, really like just died unceremoniously, is actually, because I believe the character just offed himself off screen. So that wasn't fun. But definitely getting back into that. So that's been nice. Yes, season 5. I'm currently on season, and I'll probably be done with that here really soon. But it's just a good show. Hugh Laurie is a fantastic actor. Everybody in the show is giving it everything they have, and it's just been a wonder. And I'm sad that I didn't give it the chance that it deserved way back when. But yeah, that's what I've been watching. Aside from what I know that we'll talk about. So, Sin, what about you?
I have been watching Hard Knocks, Giants off season when I can. I've also started Receiver, which is like last year they did quarterback before the NFL season happened, and it followed like 3 or 4 quarterbacks around for the whole duration of the previous season. This year they're following 3 or 4 receivers and a tight end around, and so I've been watching that a little bit. I'm only like 1 or 2 episodes in because I haven't had a ton of time to watch anything. I fully intend on possibly starting Blue Lock very soon. It's on my radar of something to do. Past that, I've played some more Once Human, which is pretty dope. I have to say it's a really cool game. I'm digging it.
Still enjoying it from
I am. It's fun. It's different. Like, if anybody's ever played a survival game, I know you've played survival games where like you build bases, you collect resources, all that good stuff, right? Like in the tone of like Ark and stuff like that. You know how like you'll build a base, you have to find the perfect location, then you build a base, and then you'll be like, damn, I found this location, I should have built my base here. Well, in this game, you can literally pack your base up as you have it, fully intact, and just throw it down somewhere else.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, so it's
That's
like you
cool.
can constantly be moving. It's really cool. The enemies look really awesome. The story is wild. But I've been digging it. What little bit I've got to play. I haven't got to play a lot because I've been swamped with stuff. Super, super busy. I've played that. I haven't got to play any more First Descendant, sadly, because I'm just crazy busy. I did get to play a little bit NCAA Football 25. I did some on stream, and I named my running back Sin Myers, made after Michael Myers.
Sin Myers.
Number 31 from Illinois. Fun fact, obviously Haddonfield was not a city I could select, so there was a Crystal Lake, Illinois. I was like, oh, we're going with that.
Okay.
It even got like the crazy kind of bushy, slick back hair. I'm just like, yeah. Gave him a bushy beard because why not? And just a bruiser. I've already nicknamed him The Shape as I'm like running in the backfield. It's like, the shape is breaking loose. Just
that's actually really funny.
Nonsense. Because why not? Why not? But I've been playing that. That's been really cool. Past that, yeah, I think that's about all I got right now. No, wait. I take that back. I retract the statement. No, we talked about this. We talked about The Watchers last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then I haven't watched anything. That was it.
Okay.
That's it. But
well,
we have news to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to save something for after the news. But let's start with the Crow. Crow news come out. We have a release date. I think it's sometime in August. I'm sure Christian has it somewhere.
I do. It is coming out August 23rd in the U.S.
Prediction on ratings for it. I predict low. I do not have much faith. I'm predicting around 38% Rotten Tomatoes. That's my prediction.
I think out of 10, just based off of the one trailer that I've seen and just a little bit that I've read, out of 10, I think this movie is going to probably be a 5, if not worse. At first, I was going to say like a 4, but I think because Bill Skarsgård is so well liked, excuse me, because he's so well liked, I think that it'll probably push the movie up to being at least a 5 right now. I don't think it's going to do well, obviously. I was looking at the list of actors who are in the movie. Skarsgård's going to be in the movie, but then you have FKA Twigs. I don't think that she's been in something else, but if she has, I haven't seen it. So I don't know really like what I'm getting into. I know it's a Lionsgate film, so it's bound to be, bloody and disgusting at some points. I know that the budget for the movie is $50 million, which really doesn't. And I just like I said, from the trailer that I saw, I'm hoping up a lot of stuff from the movie because it looks kind of blotchy in spots, and there's a lot of fake CGI blood that I hope that they've taken out and refilmed to be real blood. But I just don't have a real, I don't have real hopes for this movie. It's one of those things that I'll watch when it's available on like Peacock or something, but I'm not really looking forward to going to see it. It just wasn't interesting, and it's not even because I'm such a huge fan of the original, which I am. I think that movies can be remade when the time is right, when the right director comes along, the story is solid, when the effects are solid.
Saying that, give me a movie that the remake was better than the original.
Better than the original? The Thing from John Carpenter. That's a perfect example.
Okay. You're talking about John Carpenter's Thing, not...
Yeah, I'm talking about John Carpenter, his version of The Thing.
Yeah.
Was much better than The Thing from Another World. I think that remakes have a place. I think
other than that one, other than John Carpenter.
Let's see. Give me a second. That's the first one. The Fly, with the Cronenberg Fly is much better than the original Fly. I believe Scarface is also a remake. The Departed is a remake. Those are both better. Well, actually, I haven't seen the original Departed, so I can't say.
I didn't know Departed was a remake. Departed's a great movie.
It is. Mummy with Brendan Fraser, hands down, is better than the original. I'll down that hill.
Wait, what?
Mummy with Brendan Fraser. That's essentially a remake.
I'm not crazy about those.
I love the first two. I think that they're fantastic. Oh, I got it. Dune, Part 1 and 2. Much better than the original.
That's because the other one is just... I don't even know what the other one is. That just is chaos.
What's another one? I'm trying not to name stuff that I haven't seen because I know there's remakes out there, but I haven't watched them. Dredd, the Judge Dredd movie with the guy that plays Butcher in The Boys. That one, that's better.
Really?
I don't know if it's technically a remake or not, but yeah, it's better. That's all I got off the top of my head. I'm having a hard time.
It's usually hard for me to top the original. If I like the original, a remake, I don't know. It's usually hard for me. I guess it depends on the situation, though.
I mean, I get it. Do you think the 2005 War of the Worlds is better than the original?
2005 War of the Worlds, what?
With 2005 War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, I think Spielberg did it. Do you think that's better than the original?
I don't know that I've seen the original, so I can't really judge.
That's fair.
I know what you're talking about, though.
What about It chapters 1 and 2? Do you think those are better than the original It from the 90s?
Do I have to count both of them?
Well, yeah, because I mean it's only fair because technically It from 1990 is 2 movies.
Mm-mm. 2 ruins it for me. 2 knocks it off. I love the cast, but the CGI just ruins it. Not
That's
saying
fair.
the 90 doesn't have its flaws, but yeah. I like the first It remake a lot. A lot.
Yeah, that first one slaps.
I don't know. It's
At least
like,
to me, I
it's
think
good.
it slaps.
It's a good remake. The second one just over CGI for me. Too
Yeah.
much.
Oh, I mean, to get back on
Okay.
track, like
Back on track.
Mhm.
One detour. Okay, so Crow.
I
Go back.
actually have news as well,
Okay.
just so you know.
Well,
Do you want me
before
to
I
spew
detour
that
us
out right now?
again with other news, do you want to give your news?
Yeah, sure. Because mine is kind of quick. Here's the thing. I hope that my news isn't also your news.
Probably
Um,
not.
because I don't know what yours is. I will say this. First thing of news. Comic Con is coming out soon. You know, it's summer, and we get a new Comic Con every summer. With that being said, I know for a fact that we are getting a small update for the Friday the 13th universe. I know that we're getting an update for that. I don't know if that means that we're getting dates. I don't know if that means we're getting new actors. I don't know if it means that we're getting a new game or a new. We're not getting a new movie, but whatever it is, we are getting an update. I know it's not huge, but we are getting an update for that. So I did see that news from a credible source, so I wanted to say it here, let you guys know that as well. I also know that the Russo brothers are in talks to direct the next two Avengers films. So everybody who is been riding the dick tack of Marvel and have felt unfulfilled last couple of years because Marvel hasn't been doing too well. The Russos are in hardcore talks to save the Marvel Universe essentially and everybody's feelings. So that's a thing. And then the last bit of news that I have is I saw some images, some leaked images for Peacemaker season 2. I can say that from the leak, only from the leaked images, it seems to be firmly set in James Gunn's new DC universe. Peacemaker has a new suit. It has long sleeves. The eagle that's on his chest is flipped the other way. It's like a mirror image almost to I guess, symbolize that it's different. Obviously, he has a new helmet. We knew that was coming. His dad is apparently alive in whatever this universe is. And if you remember his costume, it was white with the red. It's the same exact costume, but swaps the red for blue. And his brother apparently is alive in this new universe and also has his own super suit, if you will. And it looks a lot like Peacemaker's, but it has its own variable differences to make them distinct enough. But it looks, I mean, for the Peacemaker show, it looks pretty cool. But those are the only images that I saw. Like I said, these are leaks, so I don't know how true everything is. But if it's to be true, it's in the new universe. Everything's different. His brother and father are alive, and they may or may not be doing things together, like fighting crime or causing crime. Who fucking knows? But they're doing that together, from what I've seen on the leaks. So we'll see what happens. But that's my news, man. I didn't have a whole lot, but I want to say that.
All right, so my news, I saw something today, I think, actually. My days are running together. But Dexter Original Sin, I believe, is coming out this fall, from what I'm seeing. And there's the first images of our new Dexter, Harry Morgan, Deborah Morgan, and Dexter doing Dexter things. And I know Christian has seen these, and I just wanted to kind of get our brief thoughts. I don't know. I don't know that I'm gonna do well with change, because when I think of Dexter, I think of Michael C. Hall, and I get that this is young Dexter that we saw flashbacks of, and obviously Michael C. Hall is aging, and it would be very hard for him to play a late teens, early 20s Dexter? Is that what we're gonna say?
I guess.
I mean, I don't really know at what age he is in this. I don't know what to think. Christian Slater is playing Harry Morgan, which it's throwing me off. And then I actually have no clue who. I'm not sure who Molly Brown is, but she is apparently playing Deb. Christian? Thoughts?
This is how I feel about it. Just looking at the images, I don't like it. I don't like the guy that got playing Dexter. He looks.
Who is he? He looks really familiar.
I don't know. Who is he?
I'm trying to figure this.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know this guy.
Patrick Dempsey
he does look
will
kind
play
of...
Dexter, young Dexter's boss. Sarah Michelle Gellar, who guest stars in the new series. James Martinez will play Angel Batista. Christina Milian will be LaGuerta.
I do know who that is. I just don't know why that's the case. I don't know the guy that's playing
Wait,
Dexter,
so is he
though.
a police officer at this point? Is he actually
His
already
name-
there?
The guy, I don't know. The guy that's playing this young Dexter, his name is Patrick Gibson.
In all this, did Dexter work for the Miami PD the same time as... Well, no, it says viewers will see him evolve from a student to an avenging killer in 10-episode series. So he's not working for the PD then, right? Because I was about to say, I feel like they didn't work at the PD at the same time.
Mm-mm. I know it's easy for me to be like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. Isn't for me. So if I take that objectively out of it and just look at it based off of it being another piece of the Dexter puzzle that we still have for some reason, I understand why this is a show, but I think that I would have much preferred to see more of something else, right? Like I don't really care to go back and watch stuff from Dexter's past because we got a lot of Dexter's past.
What do you want then in place of that? Because I know you don't want Harrison.
If honestly, man, if we had to have more Dexter, I guess I'd rather have Harrison stuff just because he's not Dexter.
Wasn't that
right?
something they talked about at the time? Was Harrison doing a Harrison series? I felt like they were setting it up.
You know what though? I think the problem is nobody, myself included, didn't fucking like Harrison. Harrison sucks. So they wouldn't give us more of that because they know that we don't want it. So they were just like, forget that. We're not going to do it. Problem, however, is they have this money to spend on this IP. So they're giving us more Dexter, just not the Dexter that we know and love. They're giving us a different version of him. So like, I objectively, I get it. Right now, it just seems, I don't want to say too soon because it does kind of feel too soon, but it's also just like, why not just do something else? Like, why not? Like, if we need more stuff in the vein of, for lack of a better word, the vein of Dexter. Yeah, exactly. We could have done another killer.
On the other serial killers, like the notorious ones. I mean, you could do Ice Truck because I mean, obviously, season 1.
I was just about to say
rodeo. You could do.
I was just about to say that.
Trinity. Trinity would be awesome.
Mm.
I would honestly, if you did Trinity and you could, I don't know how I'd feel. It'd have to be Lithgow though for me, because Lithgow, like, God, dude, he was one of my favorite characters in the whole show. He was so fascinating and such a great character.
This might come out and be great. Like, honestly, it might come out and be something I actually love watching week to week. All I can say is right now, it doesn't seem all that interesting, but that's me saying that without watching a trailer for the show.
I'm hesitant
for the season.
So, I mean, you're not alone there. As a big fan, I don't know. I like the Dexter we know, and it's going to be weird trying to adjust to all these new faces that are not from the flashbacks that we saw, and it's going to be piecing it together with like all new people. And I don't know. I don't know how the story's going to go. I don't know. I'm going to watch it. I'm sure we'll talk about it.
I also take my answer back. I take my answer back because I know that you asked me what would I of. I think the real answer is nothing, because the original series of Dexter was almost fantastic, and then it died off towards the end. The last season wasn't great. And then they tried to redeem themselves by giving us the season that we just got, that we talked about in tandem week to week on this very podcast. And it had its ups and downs, and it wasn't the best thing we've ever seen, and we didn't really like the ending all that much. But we still got that, right? So they tried to redeem themselves and did the best they could with what they gave us. So whatever. So now to have this come out and just be a prequel, it seems like a cash grab. Like it's not necessarily necessary, but I loved Game of Thrones, except for the last season. Funny how that works out. But I love House of the Dragon, and I want to see more of it, and I can't wait to talk about it later today and all that stuff. So it might end up being a situation that's very akin to that. I hope that's the case. I don't really like Patrick Gibson right now as Dexter because, like you said before, Dexter to me is um, Michael C. Hall, and the voice is also Michael C. Hall.
Yeah.
But I think one thing that could sell me on this,
If his voice
one thing
is
that
good.
could totally sell me on this is if yes, in all the voiceovers, it is Michael C. Hall.
That's gonna be a breaking
voiceovers.
point. If it comes in with a very weird voice, I'm gonna be like, that's not Dexter. I'm not feeling it.
Right. So
I
if they
agree.
if
That
they
will be a
do
big
that,
breaking
if they
point.
if they give me that, then I'll be satisfied enough to be quiet and just watch the show and judge it based off of its own merits. So that's what I would be looking forward to at that.
Okay. All right. And we're supposed to get that the fall, which is kind of surprising. I didn't expect it to be out that soon, truthfully.
Same.
So I didn't even know it was. Honestly, I didn't even know this was in production. I'd heard rumors of spinoffs and stuff, but I didn't know they had already started shooting and whatever. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think it's gonna be on Paramount. Is that right?
If it ends up on Paramount, I won't be able to watch.
But is it? Wait, no.
I'll
Is
figure it
Paramount
out.
and Showtime? They have like something together, don't they?
Probably.
I don't know. We'll see. More information.
You're right.
Sure.
It's going to be on both.
If it's coming out in the
going to
fall,
be on
we'll
Paramount
probably get
Plus.
a trailer within the next month or two. I would think we'll have to.
It's going to be out on Paramount Plus and Showtime simultaneously. So if you have one of those, you can watch it.
Okay.
Which I have neither, so I'll have to figure it out.
Get to it, Christian. All right. Is that it for our news? Do we have anything else? That's it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please buckle your seatbelts. Put your trays in the upright position. It's time for us to completely derail the podcast. That's right. Demon Slayer has not been on TV for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yet last week we talked in length about it. Christian, did you know there is a very popular theory going around, and you can blame Mr. TJ for this, for bringing it to my attention, that the characters that will no longer be with us are revealed in the final like scene of the last episode.
Mm-mm.
Did you know? Okay, so according to a very popular theory, if you watch the Infinity Castle, there are 2 different colors. One is orange, the other is red. If you see a character in the red, they will die. Christian is trying so hard to not make a face because now he is thinking about it. I don't know where this theory was found. I don't know how much truth it is, but this is a whole full-fledged thing that was brought to my attention, and now I am stuck on it. Like, over-analyzing everything. And it is driving me crazy.
Who
It's even
was
like
in
YouTube
the-
videos. It's all kinds of stuff.
Who was in the red? on
Oh,
the
you
last
mean,
scene, 'cause
okay?
I don't
Let me see if
remember.
this is just off of memory who I've seen in the red. Red would be, dude. It's my heart is about to break. First off, red would be okay by memory. Love, insect, stone, serpent, mist. I think that's it. I think that's it. No. And Wynn's brother. Giyu. No, what's his name? Ginya.
Ginya.
Giyu is water. I think that by memory, I think that's who was in red. Christian is trying to find his words correctly here. Don't know where this theory come from. Never heard of it. again, blame TJ. He was like, if you watch the last scene, you'll see who they pretty much tell you who's going to die. And I was like, have you read the manga? He's like, no, but if it's in red, they're dead. And I'm like, what? I was like, you're just making sure.
So what I can say about that off the top of my head is I wouldn't put all of your chickens in one basket there, like all your eggs in one basket.
Look, you know what this has done? Okay, I told you I was in shambles after our last conversation. It has been eating at me that I don't know when these movies are coming out, and I don't know if I have the strength to withstand not knowing that long. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to have to read it. I've pretty much accepted my fate. It's like, I'm going to read it, and then I'll be even more excited to see it in animated form. I'm just going to have to know. I think I'm going to get all of the complete manga series at some point, and I'm just going to go through it. I think I'm just going to do it and know and be done so I have peace in my soul, because this is just eating me alive. And when they showed Mist, I was like, TJ, I'm going to thump you in the forehead. Don't you dare. I mean, he probably will die. I'm sure he will. I'm sure. I mean, I can't have anything nice.
Look, all I'm going to say is I will not be responsible for telling you who may or may not die at the end of the series.
Dude, I fully expect a lot of death. I want a lot. I mean, I just think there's going to be a lot of death. I don't think there's any way around it. There has to. There has to be. But it also bothers me that you said you weren't crazy about the ending at first. So that also makes me rack my brain trying to figure out.
Yeah, the first time I read the ending, I didn't really like it. I thought it was rushed. I thought some parts
you're breaking
were
out you're breaking up really bad.
Sorry, I was saying that the first time I read the ending, I thought it was a little rushed. I thought some parts were a little like superficial, and I think it's because I had this idea in my head of how it should have ended as opposed to how the mangaka wanted it to end. So when I gave it some time.
Will you tell me what your idea was, how you wanted it to end without ruining anything?
A little bit, yes. I thought two different things. So there is a chapter in the manga that I cannot tell you about that I didn't see coming. And before I read that chapter, I thought that this was going to happen. When that chapter came up and this thing happened to this one character, I was like, well, the only thing that can happen is this. And that's not what happened. So it was surprising. I will say I was surprised at the end of the story. But when you got to the very end of the story, I was like, it's fine. But I read it again later on after I had some time away from it, and it was fantastic. So
what would you give it? I think the manga as a whole, the entire story.
8.5.
Did you say a 3.5? I
said 8.5.
Oh, I was about to say, okay, IGN. Good God. Dude, what?
Yeah, IGN's on that bullshit for reviews now.
I don't understand. Their rating system makes my head. I don't trust their rating system. I'll see it, and if it's something I'm excited for, I think it's going to be good, and they give it a good review, I'm like, sweet, it's going to be good. But if they give it some bullshit score, I'm like, yeah, I don't trust you. They gave Demon really Slayer the last season, I think, a 3.
I don't know, man.
Jordan in chat just said they gave The Boys finale a 6 out of 10. What?
They did give The Boys a 6 out of 10, and bro, that is straight.
So to be fair, they also supposedly whoever reviewed Demon Slayer, I was reading the comments, they were roasting them, and they said this same person gave She-Hulk an 8 out of 10. It's like your shit doesn't matter. We don't trust you.
That's very true. That's very fucking true. And I'll say this, bro. The Boys season finale wasn't the best season finale I've ever seen. No. But was it a 6? Absolutely not. I would give the season finale at the lowest, I would give The Boys season finale an 8. And that's at the lowest.
All right. No boys talk right now. We'll talk boys in a minute. Get back on.
All right,
back to Demon Slayer. Get back on the derailment here. Should I read the manga? Should I read it? Should I just give up? Because we don't know when the movies are coming out. We have no clue.
Okay,
dude, it could be 3 years until I get a movie. And now I'm even more confused because you're saying all 3 of the damn movies are going to be Infinity Castle. And so then we'll have to wait on a finale.
Well, no, I don't think. I'm sorry. I think I said that incorrectly. I don't think that each. I was saying I don't think that each of the movies are going to be all Infinity Castle. So I apologize for that confusion. I think that the first movie is definitely going to be Infinity Castle, and I think that they might want to split that up into 2 movies because there's a lot of things going on in Infinity Castle. And then
like what, Christian?
I think
What's going on in the Infinity Castle?
So many people have fights.
What's going on? What happens? What is happening? As Babysit always tells me, what is happening?
There's a lot of fights. There's people fighting people.
People fighting people. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And you get to see. I tell you,
dude, this show is tormenting me. This sucks.
I believe the first fight you see is the insect Hashira. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think her fight's the first fight from the manga.
She's gonna get destroyed.
I think the second fight, I wouldn't say she's gonna get destroyed.
I think she's gonna get shit on because she can't even decapitate. I know she has to use poison, so I just feel like she's about to get shit on. Maybe she'll do something cool. I hope she does. I hope she has like a cool like redemption. I think she dies for sure. I will be shocked if she survives the ordeal. I will be thoroughly shocked. You're smiling. She's dying. Christian, I swear, if she's the only survivor, I'm going to flip a table and drop kick it.
Literally everybody dies.
She's the only one that survives this whole thing.
She's the only one that lives, dude.
She's not the only one that lives. I don't believe you.
She's the only one that lives.
I don't believe you.
She tries to save a couple people. It doesn't work.
Whatever. She's not living. She's not surviving. It's not happening. It's not happening.
All right. Let's move on. Oh, you asked the question. The question was, do I think you should read the manga? I am very happy that I read the manga, but I also enjoy reading comic books in general, right? So manga, traditional Western comics, I love reading those materials. So I would say yes. I'm always pro reading the source material.
I think I'll get more information out of the source material if I go through the entire story as it was like intended to be.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what, it's great.
But the fair warning, I may not, if I get them, I may not start on book 1. I may go straight to Hashira Training or the end and read that, and then I go back through it all. Just so I'm like, I get that bug out, and then I can just enjoy it.
You're not going to be able to skip to the end.
Dude, I'll do what I want, damn it. I got to get the poison out. I need to know. It is tearing my soul apart right now. It is. I literally will just give Mrs. Sin theories. We'll be at dinner talking about like just normal life stuff, and I'll be like, what if? And she's like, what in the hell? I'm like, what if this happens? And she's like, are you kidding me right now? And then it spirals. Then she'll start talking about it. And this is like a never-ending thing. I don't know what is wrong with me in this damn anime, but it is driving me nuts.
Just tell me your craziest theory, and then we'll move on.
I feel like we've already talked about. I don't know.
Give me a crazy theory that you have.
I don't know what my crazy theory is. I don't know anymore. I don't know.
Tell me something that could happen in this show that would like piss you off.
I don't know. Everybody lives at the end.
I'll go ahead and spoil that for you. That's not true.
Everybody lives. Nobody is damaged at all. We all come out like damn Superman. I will flip something and be like, you just ruined everything.
This is what I can say without ruining anything. And then
I don't know. I don't know what would. I don't know what ending. I'm trying to think of like an ending that. I mean, obviously that would bug me just because that is not the tone the show has had. And if they had that there at the end with the toughest battle and essentially going to hell in all intensive purposes, I wouldn't like that. I'm trying to think what else.
I'll say this. So, my favorite Hashira is I really like the sound Hashira, right? That's my dude.
I do have a question about the sound Hashira, and we've brought that up several times. Like me and her have talked about that. Why is he not there? Or is he there and we just don't see him yet?
He can't be there. He can't fight like he used to.
It doesn't matter that he can't fight. They could still summon him. They were summoning everybody in that area.
What's he gonna do? He's just gonna get in their way.
It doesn't matter. They could still summon him. It doesn't matter if he's fighting or not. I'm just asking, did they still bring him there?
No.
He's not there.
Mm.
Okay. So we were wondering if he somehow got there. So it's like, if he's there, he's screwed. Like, he can help direct, but he can't.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say is, when it comes to like the end, I'm talking about the very right. Everything's wrapped up. I'm very thankful that he got the ending that he got, and I'll just leave it with that.
I mean, I'm assuming it's Tanjiro. Who else would it be?
Can't say anything else.
Oh my God, Christian. See, this is. I will stay awake at night just thinking about falling in the Infinity Castle and the shit that's gonna happen. You know what this reminds me of? I went. Do you remember when the new Star Wars trilogy was coming out and it just broke all our hearts? You remember? Do you remember that moment? Do you remember that point in time when you were like, you had hope and then they just crushed it? You know, or Halloween Kills. You know, all the fun. You have the high of the series and you're like, your brain is literally writing the story in so many different ways. You're like, oh, they could do this or this could happen, and then you watch it. And it's like you find the most generic flat drink ever. And you're just like, well, that just sucks ass. Like, that's not even remotely close to any of the fun stuff I come up with. And your heart's just broken.
Yeah.
I'm worried. Is this going to happen? Am I going to be heartbroken? Am I going to be like, oh, well, that's not as good as I made it?
We definitely got to move on though. So let's get to it.
Wow. So it is. Okay.
I know that you don't have Sin didn't give you notes on House of Dragon.
He's just completely like, yeah, your heart's getting broken. Just keep thinking about stuff and then you're just going to be pissed and hate everything. And did David Gordon Green write the Infinity Castle?
No, he didn't.
Are you sure? Do we need to look up credits?
No.
If he wrote the Infinity Castle, I will shut this podcast down.
So we're gonna go ahead and move on to House of the Dragon. And
I thought we were doing boys.
We're gonna do the boys last. Well,
you know I haven't seen the finale.
I know you haven't, and that sounds like a problem that you're gonna have to.
We're not talking about the finale. Quit trying to do 2 episodes at once, Christian.
All right, so talking about House of the Dragon, it opens up in.
Can I tell you my House of Dragon thought right away before you go in depth?
Yeah, go for it.
Weakest episode of this season. Just saying. After last week, it's typical Game of Thrones stuff, but I feel like this was kind of I wanted more. I know we're building towards like Vermithor stuff. A little flat.
I think that any show like this where you have an episode that we had last week moving into an episode like this one for this week, there's not much getting around it, right? Unless it's a part 2
I also
episode,
expected more as far as like Aegon. After your hype up, I wanted more of like a reveal and a little more like coolness of it, and it was like really short and like, all right, cool. Now he's just laying here.
Well, I mean, they're gonna play that up for like they've been playing it up the whole show, so that makes sense to me. But anyway, we'll get. So we open up on high tide. We're in Driftmark. We see Corlys. He's destroyed. His wife and 2 children are both dead now, are all dead now. So he feels like he has nothing. He just looks a hot ass mess. He's all unkempt, crying. Makes sense. We also have that scene transposed with Rhaenyra, who is also pretty heartbroken about the recent passing of Denise. It's really sad. King's Landing is suffering. There's a blockade. There's a bunch of rotten fruit. There's no meat. Everyone's hungry. We see Kristen Cole. He has the head of Meleys parted around the streets, and he thinks that it's going to it really embolden the people. You know, they defeated this dragon, but people think that it's a dark omen, so it kind of blows up in his face. A lot of people we even see in the episode say stuff like, I thought the dragons were gods. Then Hugh, a character that we see a few times that we've seen before, says they're just meat, which is crazy that he used those words because we know that everybody is starving because there is no meat. So that was really weird to see, but also kind of cool because it's uh, foreboding and foreshadowing. Aemon looks proud of the event that's happening, standing on high, just looking down, proud with a little smirk on his face. And Alicent looks very worried. She also immediately clocks that he is wearing Aemon's dagger now. So I like that they had that on there. Aegon is moved to his bed. His armor is melted to his skin. He's burnt all over. He's in pain. It's practically the same setup as his father, like Viserys. So I thought that was really cool to see. Allison asks Kristen what happened. He says that he cannot say. The Black Council meeting is going pretty roughly for Rhaenyra's side. Alfred Broom is going off essentially on Rhaenyra and telling her that Hitler's sex has not been much privy to battle. Pretty much saying that women shouldn't lead in times of war. Super sexist, obviously. Really fucked up. Ace is also getting real antsy from being cooped up a lot. He really wants to go to Harrenhal behind Rhaenyra's back. Behind Rhaenyra's back to see if Daemon remains loyal, essentially, is what he's trying to do. But Baela convinces him to calm down, and they both kind of plan for him to go see the Freys. And the plan is to sway them to Rhaenyra's side, which we'll see later on in the episode. Daemon meets with Amos Bracken, I think is his name. He's like the A leader for the Brackens, essentially. He pretty much tells them, join me or burn. But they don't give a fuck and just walk off with his dragon Craxes right behind him. Looks like he's going to kill him, but he doesn't. And then Daemon pretty much says, I didn't think that they were all so eager to die. I didn't think that they were going to do this because he didn't think, like, they really don't give a fuck. Not everybody is dying. You know what I'm saying? So he got a taste
I liked
of that,
him kind
and
of
it
just
sucked for
like
him.
sitting there, all slumped over, looking defeated.
Mhm.
Like, well, damn.
Yeah, shit's not going well for you, Daemon, because you don't think. Just like Homelander doesn't think. We'll get to that.
You know what else? I'm about tired of Damon being in the spot. By the way,
In the spot,
yeah. In was the place Harrenhal or whatever?
Harrenhal, yeah.
Yeah, I'm about over that place.
I mean, that's the point, I guess. Everybody that's in here, I don't
I
know
just
why
feel
y'all
like
want
Damon
this
could be
so
doing
bad.
other cool stuff, and instead we're like out here just tripping balls all the time and forgetting where we're at when we're there and all kinds of stuff.
That's true.
And having coitus with his mother in his dreams.
Yeah, weird.
A lot of weird
he
shit.
has Willem. It's weird. He has Willem Blackwood commit war crimes, including the capturing of children, to win over the Brackens, essentially. And then at the Eyrie, we see, I think her name is Lady Jane Aaron. I kept wanting to call her something else because of the original game, but her name's Lady Jane Aaron. She's upset because she got 2 hatchling dragons and not 2 full-grown dragons. Massaria is essentially the confidant now of Rhaenyra because she's the only other woman that's listening to her. It used to be Rhaenys, but she's dead now, which sucks. So she's really just listening to her complain, and then tells her that there's more than one way to win a war, which we will kind of see more of later, but not really. Rhaenyra and Baela have a heart-to-heart over the death of Rhaenys, and they just kind of talk about how she was and how cool she was, how much of a badass she was. And then she kind of uses Baela to offer Corlys the Hand of the King position, which we'll see later on the episode as well. Also, what you were just saying earlier, Daemon is having, which is weird, really fucking weird. Then we see when he actually wakes up, he has blood on his hands again, which is a motif that we see throughout the season. I'm trying to think. Man, I can't remember. I think I was trying to remember exactly when we. Maybe I didn't, so I apologize for that. Anyway, we'll move on. Daemon wants to be called king instead of just like king regent or whatever, which is crazy to see.
Consort? Is that it?
Consort, that's what it is.
Yeah.
King's consort. That's what he's supposed to be called because we have a queen right now. Daemon is almost immediately voted king regent over Alicent, which is crazy. Everybody is just super fucking sexist in this show. We see that with the quickness. Allison is like silently freaking out in the corner. And we see a couple of things after Aemon becomes King Regent. We see that there's going to be a parlay with the Greens. The Greens are going to have a parlay with the Tullys, with Oscar Tully. Daemon had a parlay with him earlier in the season. He was trying to make him do what he wanted to do, and it didn't work out. The Lannister troops are moving east, we know. We know that the small folk are fleeing the city, which is why he had the gates closed. And he told them to remove the rat catchers because they were all hung over the city. So he told them to remove those bodies. So those are the 4 things that we know immediately he was appointed. Hugh's wife, her name is Kat. She is ready to flee the city because there's no food. They got a sick child. Hugh hasn't been getting paid for building those scorpions they used to kill or at least battle the dragons. So that's going on. The Freys apparently bend the knee to Jace for Rhaenyra, and they want Harrenhal after the war. Everybody wants fucking Harrenhal, even though it's cursed as shit. But that's a thing going on. Aemon tells Alice that he will rule as king, and Rhaenyra is welcome to rule beside him because everybody's going to look towards a man for strength during the time of war. It's essentially saying that he will let Rhaenyra rule next to him, like in the shadows almost, like seen and not heard thing. He's going to be the boss, which is stupid. We've seen him be the boss before and it never fucking unless he gets to just kill people. And then pretty much saying the same thing that everybody else is saying, like women can't do this, women can't do that, men have to do towards me for strength, blah blah blah. If Daemon's dragon wasn't so big, it literally he wouldn't matter. But whatever. Corlys tells Baela that he wants her to be the heir of Driftmark, but she pretty much says no. She says that she's made of fire and blood, not salt and sea, which is hilarious because she's not wrong. She's not built for that. She's built to be a warrior, not to rule his kingdom essentially. Rhaenyra tasks Sir Alfred Broom, who we talked about earlier, to go to Harrenhal to see if Daemon is loyal. The same task that Jace offered himself up to do. She's letting him do it now just in case he gets killed. She doesn't care about him as much as she cares about Jace, which I understand. Also, Alfred be talking shit, bro, during the meetings all the time. Daemon is woken up by members of House Bracken at the hour, which is the darkest hour of the night. I only know that from reading the books. They're pissed off about the war crimes, the captured children, and all that. And it was done with a Targaryen banner, which is even crazier to them, which is true because Daemon's using the family name to commit atrocities. And they pretty much tell him, like, we pledged our allegiance to you, but we will not raise our banners for a tyrant, which makes a lot of sense to me. They're pretty much saying, we bent the knee because we had to, but fuck you. You don't run us. And I respect that. Let me see. Can't read my own handwriting right now. Oh, he hallucinates his dead wife, Rhaena, one who got burned by Vhagar. He hallucinates her, and she pretty much asks him, have you been looking after our girl? Which he definitely has not been. He's been ignoring the shit out of them. Rhaenyra sent her lady-in-waiting, Alinda, to King's Landing for a very important mission. They never really tell us. She was formerly a handmaiden at King's Landing, which is how she knows everybody, which is how she got in the city, which is why she's not dead, which is why that guard helped her. Also, she meets with Diana, which we talked about earlier in this season, who is a former servant of Alicent who got assaulted by Aegon. She got the moon tea. They paid her off. She wouldn't say anything. And then we saw her working as in 2 episodes ago. So that's happening. Alinda is there to collect something for Massaria, but this is not in the books. This whole scene, all of that, not in the books. And then Alicent checks on Aegon and feels really bad about his current condition and walks away right as he's saying the word mummy because he's still a mama's boy little bitch. And then the The episode ends essentially with Rhaenyra and Jace talking to each other, talking about finding new dragon riders or seedlings. Bastards and half-bloods is essentially what they're going to be looking for, and this is the start of the sowing of seeds from the book. And that is when they find a bunch of people enough Targaryen blood to become dragon riders, and we've already met one of those dragon riders in the other season.
You just broke up. One of the dragon riders in the other season. What?
We talked about him earlier this season. It's one of the bastard children. He's been looking at the dragon that he's going to.
You're breaking up to see that. Bastard children looking at a dragon. That's all I got out of that.
The two children of Corlys, his bastard children that we met. Aaron, I think.
Adam?
Alan and...
Is it Adam? No.
Adam. It is Adam.
It Adam? I knew it was an A.
No.
So both of them are going to be dragon riders?
One of them for sure.
I'm going to say Adam. And then...
He was already looking at the dragon.
Yeah, I mean, that just seems like the logical... I also know another one. I know another dragon rider. But I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
I mean, it's your podcast, dog. Say what you want.
I mean, it might be a spoiler, though. I can say who they're... I don't necessarily have to say who they're going to ride. Again, it could be different in the show, but they're showing this character more and more, which leads me to believe they're going to have a significant role. Hugh Hammer?
Mm-hmm.
That'll be another one of our riders. But I'm not going to say... I'm not going to say any of them. Apparently, I didn't know... Have we seen Silverwing?
Yes. In the background.
Because they talk about Vermithor, who we talked about last week, which is the second biggest dragon currently to Vhagar.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said Silverwing, and I was like, who the shit is Silverwing? I don't even remember that one. But apparently, I guess that's the third. That's the next biggest, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did see. I think so.
And then after that, it would be... Meleys was up there. Vhagar, of course, is like the top. So it'd be Vhagar.
No, I'm thinking of
Dreamfire would have been... Actually, I don't know where Silverwing is in all this. Because Dreamfire, which is Aegon's, right? No.
Sunfire.
That's Sunfire. Dreamfire. Who is Dreamfire? Is that Rhaenyra?
I think that is Dagon's dragon. It's the son of Aegon that we haven't seen yet.
Okay.
Aeron was his name. Sorry.
She's gone, and then it goes on down the line. Sea Smoke and Syrax and Caraxes are not that big. They're smaller than Drogon and Rhaegal were.
Drogon was a big motherfucker, dude. He was huge.
Drogon in comparison, like, I found this cool little chart. Drogon in comparison to, like, Vhagar, Drogon ain't shit.
I mean, that's true.
Or even Vermithor, Drogon is not doing anything. Drogon's getting worked easily. I would love to see Balerion.
I mean, yeah, you probably will, because we're getting another spin-off series of
that is the biggest. Is Balerion the Dread, right? Isn't that what its name?
Yeah.
That was the biggest dragon to date in the Skull and Red Keep. I think that's the biggest dragon to date. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
Who was that? Aegon the Conqueror? Who rode there? Was it?
Mm-hmm.
That was a big dragon. That was a big.
I also have a couple of other notes real quick.
Okay.
Quickly, in the book, Alicent is the one who ordered the gates for King's Landing. Also in the book, Corlys is hella pissed off at Rhaenyra because of the death of Rhaenys. He blames her, and she also waits way longer to ask him to be the hand of the king. And the last thing is, I feel like in the show, Alice Rivers might not be real, because she hasn't interacted with anybody else in the show. Nobody else has talked about her in the show.
The what's his face looked at her, but he could just be looking like, "What are you looking at?"
Yeah,
you know,
he might have been
what is
like,
his name?
I don't remember his name right now.
Do you know what I'm
but
talking about,
it's
though?
also
Because
yeah.
Damon is talking to her, and she walks by, and he kind of like glances, but doesn't interact. He just kind of looks, and it could also be like you said. He could just be like, "The hell are you looking at?"
We already seen him hallucinating other shit. So I feel like one of two things. One, he's hallucinating her and she's not actually real, or two, she's a ghost. But I don't think that they're gonna just add ghosts to the show right now. This doesn't make any sense. So part of me feels like hardcore she's not fucking real.
You're all about
So
some
there's
people
that.
not being real in these shows, aren't you?
I mean, it keeps happening.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps happening.
Sure.
So I'm gonna do this quickly, and then I guess
You
I
broke up
wanted to
again.
talk
Your mic
briefly.
hates you today, by the way.
I guess it does, man. I briefly want to go over of the boys, not the season finale,
Good
but the
job.
episode before the season finale, because
yeah.
you haven't done your homework yet.
No, because I didn't have time today. I've been busy. How would I watch it?
And busy doing what, dog? What you been doing?
I had off
Don't
stream
answer the
work,
question.
and then
Don't
this is
answer
my
that question.
second stream of the day.
Don't answer that question. We're all busy. We're all doing stuff. Let's go over it though.
All
The
right.
Boys, season
to it.
4, episode 8, Assassination Run. I'm gonna go through this as quickly as I can.
All I have to say about
hopefully
this
it makes
episode
sense.
is explosive webs.
Mhm.
That was the. I died
Jesus
during that
Christ.
part. I was just rolling. That whole part. Imagine if all I could think of was, man, what if that was Peter Parker? This is like, this is the Spider-Man we knew, just shitting webs. While Superman just looks at him like, what are you doing? Can you stop?
So the episode starts off with a Vought Kids Christmas special called Avenue V. It's like this Muppet Sesame Street style show. Ryan is uncomfortable because the A-Train puppet is super anti-woke about reporting pretty much anybody that you disagree with. Really fucked up. Sage sees that a meeting she was supposed to be in has already started, and she's getting iced out by Firecracker, who is the new number 2 now. She is tasked with coordinating the shooter, which is a new assassin for the president once he gets inaugurated. So that's happening. Deep reads poetry to Ambrosius and gets this crazy sext from Sage, and then he just straight bounces on Ambrosius. By the way, those of you who aren't following, Ambrosius is a cephalopod. So, yes, he is macking on this octopus who has the voice of Tilda Swinton, and Sage sends him a message saying that he can do her, essentially, and he's like, all right, bouncing. So that happens. MM, or Mother's Milk, purchases family tickets to Belize. Huey transfers the Red River files for Vicky. He transfers those to a hard drive and then in a safe. Starlight didn't want to bring a baby into the, so we see why she had an abortion off screen. A-Train follows Sage to take pictures of her and the shooter, and Butcher tells the boys about Dr. What's his name? I almost want to say Dr. Shaw. What's his name?
Starts with an S.
Samir. Samir, is that his name?
Yeah,
his name
Samir.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
Yeah. So he talks to them about him. They're not happy about it. Gets Frenchie to help, so he gets Madeline Stillwell to get Frenchie out of prison on a pardon so that he can help them make this supervirus. Mim goes. He gives Butcher back leadership of the boys because of his health, essentially. You know, he had the panic attacks and whatnot that could lead to a real heart attack. I'm just like, the person who has a concern is giving over control to somebody who not only has a health concern, but is guaranteed dying. Got it. No problem. So that happens. I just thought that was silly, man. Let's see. Frenchie and Kimiko go watch the doctor who's making this drug. Huey, Starlight, and Butcher, they go check on the shooter. Ryan checks his Christmas gifts up under the tree and starts shaking them and stuff like a kid would be. And then he saw that he had a gift from somebody called Don't Be a Cunt. We know exactly who that is. It's Butcher. He opens it up and it's a framed picture of Butcher, Becca, and Tara, the dog. So that was cool. We see that Vought has covered up Cameron's death, and they said that he's a victim of the vaccines, which is crazy because the same thing Jenna McCarthy said. She said that the vaccines gave her kid autism. Crazy shit. So that's a reference to that. And we see Ashley is smashed and talking to A Train about going on the run to Florence, going on the run to Florence. I thought that was cool, and it's really funny to see Ashley drunk because she's.
You broke up at the end. Fun to see Ashley drunk because of what?
She's always in charge.
Oh.
What else? So they show up at the shooter's place and they find a woman chained in a closet, who we find out later is the shapeshifter. She cuts Huey and then runs off and touches this older woman and then shapeshifts into her. Her powers kind of work like Rogue, like if she can change into you. It's really crazy. And I'm saying I don't know what this shapeshifter's original form is. We don't hear. So there is that. What else happens? A-Train is pissed at MM for leaving, and he tells him that this shit ain't over, and then runs off. We see that Frenchie gets the what does he do? Oh, he gets the doctor some new equipment so that they can kind of have what they need. Kimiko is pissed at Frenchie, rightfully so. Sorry, my charger just like fell out of the wall. That was crazy. Anyway, Kimiko is pissed off at Frenchie, rightfully so. They argue a little bit, and then she tells him about her past and that if she was talking or screaming, essentially, that she would get killed. So that's why she doesn't talk, because when she had to do those fights, if you were fighting in the pits back then and you screamed, they would kill you. So that's why she doesn't do it. They eventually make up. They have a really heartfelt conversation. And then they want to free the doctor after he makes this new virus. Homelander blows off Ryan like hardcore and then rips Webweaver in half. He's talking to Webweaver because he thinks that she kind of is, but he's not.
You're breaking up really bad.
Dude, I don't know why that's happening today.
It's because you didn't give me my Demon Slayer answer that I needed.
Oh my god. You don't want to know anything about Demon Slayer.
It's karma is what that is. So we're going to ignore the part of Webweaver just like having nervous like shits.
He had nervous like web diarrhea and just getting webs out of his.
It literally was probably like 3 minutes of just like every time they would talk, he would just start just spraying.
It was nasty, dude. It was. I did go over that. He gets ripped in half, and it's fucking insane. You literally just see him pick him up by his shoulders, rip him like
he straight up
piece of paper.
Victor Crowley like hatchet rip somebody.
He did. It was disgusting. Why did you choose to do it that way? Why not just lay?
We trusted Firecracker. She's the one that was like, "This is the leak."
Yeah, she's an idiot though. We already knew that. Deep argues with Ambrosius because she smells sage on him and knows cheating. So after their argument, essentially, like during their smashes her tank, feels bad about it, but then locks her in the room to die, and it takes her forever to die, dude. It was so uncomfortable. She's just like, Kevin, let me out, please. I love you.
Speaking of the deep, did you see what come out that Anthony Starr and them said?
No.
So, you're gonna get to this, but at one point, Butcher says some stuff and pretty much calls Black Noir narcoleptic. Did you know the actor's actually narcoleptic? They wrote that in because of that. Anthony Starr and I can't remember the other actor come out and said that the actor is legitimately narcoleptic.
That's amazing.
And there's
No, I
even a
didn't see
video
that.
of the Deep. Wow, it made me think of it. The dude is like in his chair with the mask off, and he's like conked out, right? And the actor of the Deep is over there going, and then just starts laughing. Like, apparently, that's like a legit condition dude has, and they wrote it in the show because of it.
Oh, there's an earlier
What is the damn
scene
actor's
earlier.
name? Who is playing Noir? You said it's the
I
same
don't
actor the whole
remember.
time, right? Like,
It's the same actor from last season. Yeah, I don't remember his name.
whatever. But yeah, I read that and I was like, oh my god, this show is unhinged.
He's like, oh shit, sorry
Chance
guys, I'm
Campbell.
narcoleptic.
No, is that right? Is Chance Campbell it?
I don't remember his name. I'm not gonna lie. Oh shit, that's funny as fuck. I'm glad that I'm not glad that he has narcolepsy, but I'm glad that they wrote that in instead of just glossing over it. That's really funny. And it makes for some really funny moments. But anyway, getting back into it. Damn, that threw me off. That's really funny. She finally dies. It takes forever. And then after that, he starts freaking out and then goes to tell Homelander that he'll kill whoever he wants, whenever he wants, because he's fucking gone all the way dark at this point. Then Huey goes to Newman for like one last talk, telling her it's not too late. She can stop doing this. Please don't do this. And she blows him off. But she doesn't know the full plan about like the internment camps and stuff. But she's packing up her things because she's clearly about to be moving to DC. And then she also tells Huey that she's sorry about his dad. So she clearly still has some humanity about her, which is nice to see, and totally won't come back in the season finale at all. Totally won't happen ever. Um, Butcher and Starlight get back to the base where the Deep and Black Noir 2, we'll just call him, are waiting for them. A huge fight ensues, and Black Noir totally falls asleep while they're fighting. He just straight falls asleep mid fight. And I can't lie. That was some humor that I needed. It did add. It didn't take me out of the moment. It's such a boys thing to do, so it was really cool.
And it's always something that happens when Butcher's around where he can make some wisecrack, like snarky comment.
Yeah, and he did. I just don't remember what he said. It's full disclosure. I watched this episode like a week ago, so I don't remember what he said. But A Train saves the day. They know now that he's the leak, and then Noir speaks like, "Oh shit, you're the leak!" So it's really funny to see him speaking in front of all the people. And comes back to help, and they like we see that Black Noir can actually fly, like he said he could. They shoot him out of a window, and they knock the Deep out. Comes back to help, and he tells them not to kill the Deep, which there's no way that's going to be a pain in the ass in the season. No way. Anyway, so moving on. A Train goes to Ashley, ready to run, and she declines. And she tells him not to forget his tracker. So he runs off, and we don't see him again. Homelander cries about A Train being the leak, which is crazy because he's cried now about A Train being a mole essentially, and he cried about the original Black betrayed him, and he was upset about Maeve, but more because he's a narcissist, not really because he was actually hurt about it, but whatever. Sage is fired because she didn't tell him that A Train was the leak. And then she tells him that there's an enemy that he'll never be able to. It's obviously himself. She also said that he made her a promise and that he broke it. So there's that. And then he also promised that he would listen to her, which he didn't do. She leaves her notebook, her like Maeve notebook that I've mentioned a couple of hands in it. Noir, we find out, has been sleeping with her too because he says, "You can't leave. I love you," and I'll never forget that shit for the rest of my life. And then you see the Deep go up to her because he's about to say something, and he's like, "No, wait, you can't leave. I love you." So then the Deep finds out that they both been banging her, but she needs to be lobotomized before she can sleep with the Deep, and she's just been readily sleeping with Black Noir. So like, I thought that was super funny. That's just
Poor D.
more humor that I needed. And it's really funny because Ambrosius just told Deep before he let her die that Sage was using him, which she very obviously was, but the Deep is a fucking dumbass. So of course he doesn't know that because he's such an idiot. Anyway, oh god, it was great. It was a good time. Then we see that the doctor escapes after he stabs Kimiko with the virus in her leg. Frenchie thinks really quick, cuts her leg off to keep the virus, also to save her. She heals up and grows a new leg, and then they put her.
Walking Dead. That's what it was.
Yeah, he watched. Yeah, that makes sense. They put the leg on ice so that they can make another string of the virus for Newman. Ryan gives a speech on TV after he's getting ready to expose Vought and his dad and everything, but he stops right before he starts to say anything too juicy and walks away. Butcher feels really good about that right before he's super, super proud of Ryan in that moment because his dark side, his venom, if you will, has been telling him to kill Ryan and he won't do it. So after that, Starlight and Huey talk. She puts on her Starlight suit again for the first time all season. And then they fuck. They totally bang each other. And he wakes up, or I'm sorry, she wakes up after, post coitus and steals all of the files about the Red River stuff for Newman and then shapeshifts because we find out that's the fucking shapeshifter. They switched at a bar and the
shapeshift too, like ripping off the skin and stuff. It's pretty wild. I like it though.
Yeah, it is. Like it reminds me of the werewolves.
Yeah, it
reminds me of the werewolves from
Trick or Treat.
Yeah, Trick or Treat.
That or
but,
oh god, Hemlock Grove.
Oh, Hemlock Grove. Yeah. That too. Forgot about that. But yeah, so they switch to the bar and they have the Starlight chained up somewhere that we don't. That's an undisclosed thing. And like I said, guys, full disclosure, I did watch the season finale, so I wanted to say that again before I said this, but I wrote extra notes on this after my initial notes, and these are the things that I said. The shapeshifter has to be able to copy memories because otherwise, how does she know the code? How does she know anything about Huey and Starlight's life? And how would she be tricking Huey into sleeping with her? Also, why sleep with Huey? It doesn't make any sense. You don't have to do that. So there's that. What else did I say in the notes? She knows conversations, talking points. She knows how they feel about things, the password. Why take the files? Is she working for Sage? Is she working for Newman? Like, who's she working for? Like, why is this happening? So I had those questions on this sticky note. I have the answers to all of the questions I just asked because I did watch the season finale. Sin hasn't watched it, so I won't get into it. But next week we'll talk all about it, and I got some things to say.
Next week,
also,
I have a feeling you're also be talking about Cobra Kai because in that time of recording this just dropped.
Yeah, it just dropped, and I'm gonna do everything in my power to some of it. But I'm really busy this weekend. I might not be able to watch it until like the day.
I'm gonna try to watch it, but my schedule has just been so crazy that it's been hard to watch a lot of shows. So.
Same. My schedule's not the best either. We'll see what happens. I hope that I get to, but we'll see what happens. I'll just wait.
All right.
Anyway, that's all I got. That's all
you got. So back to the Infinity Castle.
God.
Okay. No.
We're done with the Infinity.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're not done with the Infinity. We are not remotely close. Until my heart is either broken.
Chance Crawford. That's his name. That's the Deep's name. Thank you, Jordan.
Oh wait, no, I'm trying to think of Noir's name. I think Chance. I think it was Anthony and Chance that confirmed that he was actually narcoleptic. I think they come out in an interview and said that.
Gotcha.
Which is not funny, but it's funny they worked it into the show. But it's also very boys-ish to work something like that in the show.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense for the show.
All right. So, it is time that we...
Pass the whiskey.
That's right. It's time to make all of our heads hurt because that is what this segment has become. We should change it to one too many drinks. And it's officially last call. But get your
Whiskey!
as we go into the last call question. Jordan is back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Okay, Jordan's last call question. Would you rather be able to effortlessly run 100 miles an hour or fly anywhere at 10 miles an hour? Ooh.
I got my answer.
I mean, top of my head, I know what I want. I think.
Let's hear it.
I want to fly just because I would like to fly. I'll slow fly. Is it? Are you effortlessly flying, or is it like? Am I limited? Am I like flying? Like...
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pretend like I can't ask any questions.
Okay.
I'm gonna pretend that I'm just going off of what the question says. Would you rather be able to run?
I'd fly just because it'd be fun to fly.
Run effortlessly 100 miles an hour or
fly
anywhere, 10 miles an hour. This is my choice. I'm a ground person, right? I love being grounded on the earth. Like that's great. I would love to be able to move that fast because I'm a big dude and I don't move that fast. So like that'd be cool. But if I could run 100 miles an hour to get where I need to go, that cuts out having to need so much shit, bro. Like, man, gas isn't a problem like it used to be.
Sweating.
Who gives a shit? I'll put extra clothes in the backpack, have that backpack on my back every day, and run wherever I need to go. I'm the Flash, bro. And
you're the
if I could run 100, I'm faster than every normal person.
I mean, but I'm flying.
That's all that matters.
I'm flying and just cruising.
Yeah, but the only way you're going to be faster than me is
you completely cut out. I'm not trying to be faster than you. I'm just flying and cruising. I'm flying over an ocean, just chilling.
Nah, dude, I'm trying to be fast. Like I'm trying to.
I don't think you can go across an ocean at 100 miles an hour.
I think you could. Well,
no, I don't think you can. Flash is much faster than 100 miles an hour. That's like you think about like a car. A car like going 100 miles an hour might skip for a minute, but you're gonna sink, dude.
But if I could run that fast, I assume that I could swim really fast too.
No, you ain't swimming
quickly.
This ain't part of the equation. You're only running.
You know what? I'll take it. Just running.
I'm gonna fly over water and I'm just gonna be like, "Yo, check us out."
Just run naked. Ain't no one ever gonna know.
I'm flying. For sure.
They're just gonna see a black blur. Just was that a dick tat? Just swiping my leg?
Would that be your name?
Black blur. I feel like that'd be a little too racist, so I'd have to come up with something a little cooler than that.
Okay, well, what do you got? Give us your. You're not the Flash. You're not even like remotely close.
I don't want to just have black on my name. Like I don't want to be Black Flash. You know what I'm saying? That's not fun. So let's see. Zoom is taken. I'd probably be like.
They call him the Streak.
That's a good question. What would my name be? 100 miles an hour, dude. I could run around the city and fight crime and not get shot. That'd be great. Hopefully not get shot anyway. I'm such a klutz. I'd probably fall down and break my own legs.
See, this is why you need to fly, because you're going to legit hit a pothole and you're going to go rolling 100 miles an hour into a building and knock yourself out or break your neck.
I don't know.
10 miles an hour, I have a little more control. Like, I can kind of like this cruise.
I'm trying to think, like, legit what I would want my. I don't know, guys. If you're in the chat, what should my name be? I shouldn't have asked y'all that. Now you're gonna come up with something. Probably. I'd probably just keep it simple and be something like Dreadful.
You'd be like, what?
I don't like it. I don't like that one. I don't know. I can't think of anything. Dreadful. What do you think my name should be?
I don't know. It ain't gonna matter because you're gonna hit a pothole and run into a building pretty quick.
I mean, I don't think it mattered. I think you'd be flying up, and then a helicopter or a plane would show up, and you'd be moving too slow to get the hell out of the way and get smashed.
I mean, you're thinking 100 miles an hour. Like, think of the interstate. You're not much faster than cars on the interstate.
I'm faster than people. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, but if you are like running and you get on the interstate, I mean, cars are gonna be right there with you, so you're gonna be like looking in a window, watching a girl drink like a juice box or something, and then like a semi is gonna crush into you. I'm just gonna be floating above, just watching. Like, damn, Christian's got hit again.
Again, Jesus.
Well, I mean, you already ran into a building at the start of this whole story.
Why am I running into buildings?
Because you keep tripping. You said you're a klutz.
Remember, though, get out of the superhero. You're still just a body, so you can't. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Just in your body, you just can't fly space or run through trees. Still yourself. Just slightly more power. Okay, so see? Christian, you run into something. I mean, I didn't say I was flying to space. I'm going to cruise at a chill 10 miles an hour. That way I see pigeons coming. I might have like a Yoo-hoo or something I'm drinking while I'm cruising along. Because he needs to get somewhere. I mean, what is he going to... He's not going to run through a dense forest in Tennessee at 100 miles an hour because he definitely will die.
Elf, I agree. Why would I be running?
How else would you get somewhere?
You don't need the interstate. Like, where I'm not trying to run. I'm not actually trying to run out here and fight crime across the state.
But what if you're like, look, I'm gonna come visit you. I'll run down there, be down there in a little bit. How are you gonna get there? You just gonna like magically hit like a jump? Like, what are you doing? How is you gonna travel, Mister? I don't have to have a car. I'm just gonna run everywhere.
Whoa! I didn't say I didn't have to have a car.
You said it cuts out so much stuff I need, like a car. I'm just gonna run and have my sweaty balls out while I'm running.
Oh my goodness! There you have it. Sin's thinking about my balls again.
See? No, I'm just kind of quoting what we talked about earlier. I'm gonna put an extra pair of clothes in because I'm be running down there.
Bro's just gonna do his daily put down 65. Yo.
Flying is so much better. Those in kick chat, what would you do? Fly or run? Which are you picking? I'm flying for sure.
I think if I could run
miles an hour,
that
how am I gonna
fast,
get
bro.
hit by a helicopter? You think I can't see a helicopter?
Hey man, crazy.
You're the one that's like, I'm doing 100, and you're gonna hit a pothole, and you're gonna go flying into like Bridgestone or something.
Oh my god.
I'm running too. 10 miles an hour is way too slow. You guys
I feel you, dog.
Crashing and burning.
I'm with you. Because I mean, like, by the time you get high enough to be cool flying, like, it's gonna take you 10 minutes. Somebody's gonna shoot you.
Why are they gonna shoot me? Who am I? I'm not a superhero. I'm just flying.
They're gonna be like, who's this damn alien white guy in the air? He's gotta go. Bam.
They're probably gonna be like, oh no, and just leave me alone.
It's not a bird. It's not a plane. It damn ain't super. Boom. Out of here.
Well, that's why, I don't live in Nashville. ain't nobody messing with me here. They're just like, oh, that weird guy's flying around town again.
Jordan says, I would love to be able to run that fast, but since I'm just in my normal body, I feel like I wouldn't be able to move quick enough to get out of the way to hit a tree and die. I feel you, dog. At least I'm flying. Yeah, at least while flying, I control myself a little better. How do you know what it's like to control yourself flying? You're just like, you're either vertical or horizontal in the air.
There's nothing. You see massive buildings and stuff in the sky, and if you see a plane, you can move out of the way quick enough.
But you're just moving.
It's more of an open space.
Normal running speed. You're going 10 miles an hour. Like, you ain't doing shit.
There's nothing to stop you though.
What do you mean is that? What if you get tired while you're up there? Then
what if you get tired while you're running? Apparently, you can effortlessly do this.
He didn't say you can effortlessly fly. He just said that about
you can effortlessly fly.
That's not what the thing said.
It is. We're saying that.
But in your point, if I'm just floating on broad daylight, I would draw a lot of activity. At least I'm being able to run. You can blend in. disappear in a flash. You see what I'm saying? If you're going 10 miles an hour and you get your big ass up in the air and you're just kind of free floating around,
10
you're
miles an
not
hour is
gonna
faster
live
than you
long.
think going up.
Listen,
You didn't say you could start and stop at 100. You're not going 0 to 100 in like no time. You got to kind of get going here, Christian. You're getting
you didn't
older.
say you could start and stop at 10 miles an hour in
Hey,
seconds
listen,
to get to 10
flying's
miles an
better.
hour.
I'm not running
Flying isn't better in
and
this
tripping
in
over
this
loose
scenario.
gravel because you're wearing some
Nah.
damn shoes with no grips because you've been running all over town like a dummy, and then you trip over something.
That's
You
you
hit a pole.
tripping.
You break your
I'm
ankle.
gonna have my fresh New Balances on. I'm gonna be running all.
Listen,
I'm
you
running
know what happens when
everywhere.
first time you stub your toe, break an ankle or something? Your ass ain't running nowhere. I got a broke ankle. I'm going to put that thing up in the air and just go floating around.
Jordan said, "Lord," and it's a big ass too. See that thing from some Murphysboro, dude. Yeah, if Jordan, all full disclosure, you guys don't know, haven't seen Jordan, but Jordan's got a damn wagon. So if he's in the
Saying
air
Jordan's
like
got
that,
cake?
ain't no way. Jordan got cake, bro. He'll tell you. There is no way he won't be spotted flying 10 miles an hour in the air. There's no way. You're going to see him.
I'm
You're going to see him coming and going.
I'm going to be cruising. You don't think people are going to set up traps for the fast dude running around town?
You don't think people are just going to
make
your life hell?
They're going to take that
float
Achilles
around?
out and you ain't running nowhere. They're going to
Guy-
wax house like straight up. Cut the Achilles.
Jordan says, I got a whole bakery in my back pocket. He's not lying. At work, we used to call him Sarah Lee.
I was about to call him Little Debbie ass.
Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Well, that's all I got for y'all, man.
Christian hates flying, confirmed. He doesn't want to feel his dreads in the wind.
I hate flying at 10 miles an hour. Now, if he would have said 25, I'm in.
No, whatever. No.
Sorry, Jordan.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this episode of Sippin' With Sin. Let us know in the comments what you would rather do. Would you rather run and be lame like Christian, or would you rather fly? We appreciate you listening. If you made it this far, you're a real one. Be sure to check out new episodes every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Central Time on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff, as well as my personal YouTube. The video version of the podcast comes out every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Central Time on youtube.com/IamSinister. So go thumbs up, subscribe to it, all that good stuff and things. And, yeah, keep showing it love. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. You can find Sippin' With Sin on all the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, all that stuff. Sippin' With Sin, Sippin with Sin. On all those, say hello. Over there, you can find me on my socials. I am Sinister TV on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, Twitch. Yeah, all that stuff and things. All of it. And then you can find me on my YouTube, youtube.com/IamSinister. And you can find me live streaming over on kick.com/IamSinister. Go show them love. I would love to see you. Come say hi. I'm from the pod. Listen to the pod. Love to welcome you. You can also check out my other podcast, Behind the Vocals. New episodes drop every Friday, 8 a.m. Central Time. Spotify, Apple, and my personal YouTube as well. Show that some love if you like music and want to know more about vocals. But that's where you can find me, folks. So, yeah. Now, where can the lovely folks find Christian when he's not running around town butt naked?
Right. You guys can find me on Instagram at Vin and Ink. That's all one word. You guys can also find me on the my full name, Christian Vincent. Contrary to popular belief, I don't like social media that much. So those are the only two places you guys can find me currently. But come say hi, drop a like. Hey, what's up?
Alrighty. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this week's episode. Episode 106 is in the books. Appreciate you all being here. You don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. It's time for us to shut down until next week. Christian, lock the doors down and do your thing.
Thank you guys once again for tuning in to the 100th episode of Sipping with Sin. We really appreciate it. Please let us know what you want us to talk about next, what you want us to watch, what you want us to read, what you want us to listen to.
Spoiler, Demon Slayer.
We might do it. Don't spoil Demon Slayer.
No,
please,
spoiler, it's going to be Demon Slayer.
Oh, well, I mean, if it's Demon Slayer, we're okay with it. But guys, like I said, smash that like button, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think of the podcast. Let us know what you want to see, what you want to hear. I'm going to leave you guys with 3 words. 3 words I'll leave you with every episode. If you've been here before, say them with me. If you haven't been here before, listen carefully because they might just save your life. Those words are as follows. Don't get gutted.
See you guys next week.